started in a few moments. I see some of you joining. Awesome, awesome. Welcome in, welcome in. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. We're in a new year. Happy New Year. That's what we often say, right? I hope it's going to be a Happy New Year when we finish tonight. Got something to say to you. So we're going to get started in just one moment. We're just checking all of the technology out and ensuring that we are ready to roll. Welcome in. We are live on LinkedIn. We are live on Instagram. We are live on Facebook. And I want you to see if you could check the Facebook. My team could check the Facebook to make sure we are live on Facebook. Come on, you can hit it for right there. Let's see, just a second. We're going to just close that out and start again. And if you'll cancel that one. All right. So for those of you who are here, it is 8:38. We plan to get started at 8:30, 8:35. We're going to go ahead and get started. I want to welcome you in. This is something that I started several years ago. I woke up one morning thinking after the new year, I was thinking, okay, what can I contribute to this new year? I am a transformational coach. I lead women. I'm in the women empowerment space. So what can I contribute to the world in this time? A time where we're most excited, a time where we are searching for answers, a time where we feel rejuvenated, some of us, a time where we are in hope, a time where we're in prayer, a time where we are meditating and we are sitting inside of our goals and our dreams. And a time where we are purging, a time where we are wondering. I could keep going on, right? Some of us find ourselves with a lot of questions at the beginning of each new year. Some of us feel like we already got our answer because we've been praying and we've been meditating and we've been, positioning ourselves for such. And so this experience came through all of that. I'm no different than you. I may have done some things different than you. I may have taken some different, paths, made some decisions, took a whole lot of different paths and made a whole lot of decisions that you may not have had to make or chose not to make, or better, maybe didn't know to make. Whatever your particular path you have found yourself traveling, we all want one thing. We truly do. We want to experience the best part of ourselves. And when we don't experience the best part of ourselves, we find ourselves struggling with depression. We hear the buzzword now, mental wellness. We find ourselves depressed. We find ourselves despondent. We find ourselves grudgingly walking through each day. That is not a great feeling. When we don't reach our dreams and goals and hopes and admirations for ourselves, we don't reach that pinnacle, that admiration for self, not our favorite superstar, not our favorite pastor, not our favorite artist, not our favorite movie star. We find ourselves empty. And in this emptiness, it just doesn't take long for us to realize something is missing, something is broken, and a new year just ain't gonna fix it. A new year will not fix it. A new year doesn't make it better. if we just be so truthful with ourselves. Truth is a hard thing. We're going to talk about that. So we're here till about 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I want you to do me a few favors. I want you to share with friends, girlfriends, people you talk to on a regular basis. I want you to call them on in to this experience. Don't hold this back for yourself, because this is not the year to do that. This is the year for you to be a change agent. That's coming too. And how we become change agents, we become first self-change agents, and second, we become change agent for others. So I want you to call some of your girlfriends into this conversation. We're about to jump into the meat, and we're getting ready to add potatoes, put some gravy on it. And I want them to experience it too. I want you to call in grandmamas, aunties, cousins, right? All women. I want you to put it on your Facebook, put it on your Instagram, share that you're here with me. Welcome in, everyone. I want you to not hold this back just for you. I want you to share the links. If you're with me here through the mainstream, you're probably joining me through YouTube and or LinkedIn. You can easily share the link. You're on Facebook, welcome in. You can share the link. That's number one. Number two, I want you to really get into this. Don't just listen. I want you to hear. Don't just listen. I want you to hear. Hear for something new. You heard how I said that? Hear, you heard how I said that? Ebonics. Hear for something new. Put your ear in a posture for something new. Don't just put your ear just to hear it. Don't log off. We're only here to 9:30. Because if you can't hang around this much time and you showed up and you just log back off, this is going to be a tough year for you. If you show up to something, stay there. Now, if you didn't show up, you can't miss what you didn't show up to. This is not the year to show up and walk out early. This is not the year to sit on the sidelines. This is not the year to talk about what you think you want. This is the year of swift, massive action. Let your friends know to come on in. Then number two, I asked you to do me a favor, stay. If you came in, stay. I'm not going to ask you to buy nothing. That's what people are most concerned about when they attend these kinds of moments. What is she going to ask me to buy? Nothing. Nothing at all. I want to give. I want to give a message to you that has been, I believe, for me, life-changing every time I write these messages. So I call this my State of the Union Success Address. Now, you've heard of the State of the Union address. One of the most famous ones would be John F. Kennedy. Now, we've heard other great speeches. I Have a Dream speech, Martin Luther King, which this year, 23, I'm doing something amazing for Martin Luther King. I hadn't even told my family yet. I've been thinking about it because each year we do the same thing, same thing, same thing. And his meaning, I Have a Dream, in this season that we've been in for the last 4 years has made the most difference to me. So I plan to celebrate in a very unique way. That's a side note. The State of the Union address is most given by the President of the United States. And in this address, what we find mostly is direction. We find inspiration. We find hope. We find all sorts of amazing, not just predictions, but ideas of the future. We find this whole idea of what we can be. We find maybe a solution. Just a moment, everyone. We're having a little bit of technical stuff. We find solutions. In the speech that John F. Kennedy gave, which was the State of the Union, many moons ago, right? Many years ago, uh, I'm always most stricken by the part of what your country can do for you, and not what you now what you can do for your country, not what your country can do for you. You know, your technology get a little weird, you get a little distracted. So I'm going to have to get refocused again. So just give me 30 seconds here. We got a lot of things happening behind the scenes. All right. So this whole thing I started was really built on that. As I said earlier, it was built on the idea of addressing the union of women, that I get an opportunity to say hello to on a regular basis, that I get an opportunity to have you follow me on social medias, and I get to engage with you in a live event or training, or actually become your coach and mentor. I get a chance to speak on stages across the country, and I may honestly have spoken on a stage that you've seen me and you've been a part of that experience. But what we shared when I first came in, the hope for the new year, how we get to this place and how so many people just don't. And maybe it's because it's not about the new year as it is about you in the new year. I want you to repeat after me. I want you to repeat, you're on your way. And I want you to put your being you, say I'm on my way. So I'm going to put my I. So you say I, okay? Just repeat after me. I'm on my way. No one is coming to my house to make my dreams come true. I'm on my way. I'm going to repeat that. No one is coming to my house to make my dreams come true. This is 2023. I'm on my way. No one can raise my standard and elevate my game but me. I'm on my way. No one can raise my standard and elevate my game but me. I'm on my way. No one can protect and fortify my mind but me. No one can protect and fortify my mind but me. No one can build and enhance my reputation, my business growth but me. No one can feed and build my body to a healthy body and mind but me. Hope you're repeating after me. You can even put it in the chat. No one, repeat after me, is going to save me but me. Those repeat after me's are your 2023 mantra to remember, to honor, to hold on to. 2023. I know so many of you, as I said earlier, kind of how we got here, what is the hope for coming into a new year? But so many of you were ready for 2022 to end. And you probably was ready all the way since last January. When January entered, it entered in with the same bills, the same people, the same ideas, the same everything. So eventually, what happens is you get more of the sameness. So this will be tricky this year. This will be tricky. It's going to be a tricky year because of the word friction. I want you to write that down. It's going to be a tricky year because of the word friction. It's going to be tricky because of the word friction. We're going to have to exert considerably more amounts of energy to tap into our ideas because there is friction in the atmosphere. Friction is in the atmosphere, and what is really tricky about friction, we feel them, but we're oftentimes unable to locate their origin. We can feel something at play that's not really allowing us to, get to where we want to go easily. And we often call it, an obstacle, a challenge, or the devil. Whatever you use to describe your challenges, let's put the word there for 23, friction. And this friction will pull a certain amount of energy. Pretty much, it's going to pull a considerable amount of your energy if you, as we just repeated after, if you don't honor the truth. Already there's a lot of nuggets dropping. If you don't honor the truth. So Lori, what's the truth? The truth is that it could be even a worse year than last year. And I guess you're saying, who made you a spiritual leader, evangelist, preacher, pastor, teacher? Each of us actually have one of those 5-4 ministries within us. I'm actually more administrative after I took my spiritual test, which actually is along the lines of an evangelist as well. Over the years as a motivational speaker, I've found myself oftentimes diving into not just scripture, worldviews, ideas of what's happening with people I know, experiences I've had myself. And what I find is I'm absolutely that. I'm one of these people. I'm empathic in ways. I'm spiritually connected. I get answers from the universe. The heavens and me, we're just in alignment. And then I'm a professional. I work with people and every day my work is people. So these answers that I'm giving you, you don't have to take them for gospel. You don't have to even say that you're going to, lean into them. It's for you as a thought, right? I'm not one of those. This is not a Jim Jones experience. This is a hold, experience, inspirational experience about greatness, success. And I am a motivational, inspirational, transformational being. This is who I've been my entire life. So I just wanted to drop that in because as I share more of this, it gets thicker. So you might get a little more squeamish or you might question, but I want you to know where it comes from. Okay. So welcome in, everyone. We just talked about the tricky part of this year. That's going to be friction, and how that friction is being created. It's already been created. All we did was we laterally moved over to a new year. But something else really was at play. We spiritually landed in a new time. We spiritually landed in a new time. So in this new time, that's when stuff happened. It wasn't that we went from December to January. It was time and space. Okay. There was a time in space that created something more powerful or something that we can actually look forward to. But in order to experience it, that's what you're listening to. Like when I just gave you repeat after me. And for those of you who didn't get to hear that, you want to listen back to the replay and it will give you the repeat after me's. The truth is, again, that this could be even a worse year than 2022. Lori, why do you say that? I could go into a number of statistical things, but I don't want to go that direction. You are very clear on knowing that right as we speak, there is a shift happening in our government that has been happening. You are very aware that there's something happening in the minds and hearts of humankind, man, woman. You are very aware there's something happening within our children that we've never seen before. You're very aware that we're dealing with other crises, whether that be water. All of these are climate related. You're aware of these things. You're aware of how the money is flowing. Oh, we're coming to the money here. You are aware of what you feel. You're aware how these things already have affected your life. And so think of that and think of, could it get even worse? Absolutely, yes. I lived through the 2008 crash, the housing crash that turned into a recession, all brought on by this friction that I just spoke about. That friction then is the same friction now. We are preparing for some kind of war if we're conscious enough to really pay attention. The news is not just for the bad and the drama and what and this and that. The news is about some things. You got to read between the lines, of course. You got to read multiple news, get the great stuff to really put your finger on it. But you got to be conscious. Like I said, ear to hear. You got to have your ear to the ground. So now let's dump into my first three predictions, along with all the other great stuff I've already given you for 2023. If you aren't ready to do the thing that will move you forward, number one, you probably might as well sit down, sit this one out, and wait on 24. I really mean everything I'm saying tonight. Just sit this one out because you're going to have to, it's like breaking news. Breaking news, this one is never going anywhere. Number one, if you aren't ready to do this thing, you will not be moving forward. And don't say I spoke over your life. This is and will always be tried and true. Just try it and see if it's true. You, number one, will have to do the thing that most people, 98% of the people feel this way. They hate this thing. Because I love it. But it's not comfortable. I'm in it right now. Change. That is the number one. It will always remain number one. Change and adapt to new conditions. Change and adapt to new conditions. Because 2023, as I said, is tricky. We moved over a month, but we really got this time and space. It's a spiritual shift happening. But there's also a lot of friction that's happening. I just shared a lot about that. If you're just joining in, welcome in. You want to listen to the replay. Number two. Everyone give me 1 second. 1 second. We'll be right back. Okay, we're going to put you on pause for just a second. We're hearing that we're not live on our Facebook. All right, number 2. 2023 is going to be a year of concepts and currency. Concepts and currency. Snap of the finger. Concepts and currency. When we think of concepts and we think of currency, what are we really saying there? This is the year that if you have a conceptual idea, a conceptual idea is something that's birthing inside of you, something that's showing up maybe as a dream, something that's moving forward to a greater possibility because you created it, because it showed to you the idea. It's in its concept phase. That means it's in the beginning. It's in the building of it. What have you been holding on to? What have you been waiting for? What have you been, maybe, just maybe, I wrote on my notes, sitting, hoping for approval to put it in the world. It's been showing up for you over and over again, and maybe you just get the concept this year. All of the pieces kind of click and they make sense. Okay? All of the pieces. What's going on here? Oh, gosh. Oh, technology. We're on a live stream as well, everyone. So we got a couple of things. Okay. Testing. Okay. And when we think about these concepts and this currency, what are we really saying? What are we really gaining from it? We're gaining something because in concepts becomes currency. Inside of a concept, the next thing that happens is currency. Currency precedes concepts. Concepts create currency. That's the only thing that creates currency. A concept. The iPhone, a concept. You name a concept. And whether it's creating currency or not depends on how well conceptualized the concept was or is. But concepts, this is the year of concepts, the year of currency. That's exchange of them both. So if you're ready to create something, if you're ready to put something out in the world, this is the time to do that. Number 3, 2023 will undoubtedly be the year of premiere. And when I say premiere, I don't mean more luxury items, but if that's your thing and that's what you're going for, girl greatness, go all the way. Premiere is where you value yourself at the highest form, the highest level, where you value your work at its highest level. If your current work is not yielding you the value of your brilliance, your ingenuity, your innovative you, everything that you know, your skill, your talent, and it's time for you to do what? It's time for you to let it go. Don't hesitate. It's time for you to do a little work, a lot more work, greater work, to go on a journey to see what premier life looks like, premier work looks like. You were made and created for more. You can have more. More will depend on your ability to do those things that we talked about earlier, repeating after me. No one is coming to your house to make your dreams come true. No one is raising the standards for you and elevating your game but you. No one is going to build and enhance your reputation but you. No one is going to protect and fortify your mind but you. No one can feed and build your body but you. And no one is going to save you but you. This premier place It's a place of value. It's a place where you get served higher, you serve yourself higher, and you're willing, write this down, grab this, you're willing to challenge yourself and get back to competing. You remember when we were in high school and you heard about the debate club? You remember? I might be 52, but I'll never forget the debate club. Ever, never. You remember the competition cheerleading. You remember the band when the band went to compete in its regional competitions. You remember, even if you wasn't involved, it's your time now. If you were that girl in high school that did not compete because you were stuck in a place where you didn't feel great, your self-esteem was hurting, I got something for you coming up. It's your time to compete right now. 2023, your time to compete, your time to become premier, your time to experience all the greatness that's been stored up, just waiting for you to raise your hand, waiting for you to put your arm around it, waiting for you to sit down and square it face to face and say, you belong to me, greatness. Repeat it after me. You belong to me, greatness. You belong to me. What happened after you came out the womb was your whole story. But today, tonight, this year, you get to change that. But remember, I said this year is tricky. Remember, I said this year can be even worse than it was last year. In order to move things forward, in order for this to happen, these three things I predicted. Number one, again, you, like most people, hate the thing called change, but you're going to have to do it nonetheless. Change, and adapt to new conditions. Change. In agreement with me, I want you to just to send me some kind of shout out right now. I want to make sure we are still live on YouTube. Want to make sure we're still live on YouTube. It says we're live. Just want to make sure we're still live. I see us, we're live on some of the other channels. We've had some technical difficulties tonight. Of course, Sister Not Happy, LinkedIn and Facebook, and we pay for all this technology. So hopefully when we get it, we'll be able to restream it and put it out there, okay? To navigate and maneuver this year, you'll have to go for truth. Another prediction, another insight. You'll have to go for truth. Truth will have to be all around you, encased all around you. Truth will have to be your thing you drink for breakfast, thing you lay down and take a nap with, the thing you go to bed with and wake back up with. If you don't do truth this year, here's what's about to happen. Your lies will not move anything forward. This year is already full of friction. This year is already full of friction. Some of those frictions I was able to express with you earlier. You're not going to be able to escape the lie. You're going to have to work on the lie that you told yourself, the lie you've said, I can't, the lie you have created for, this idea of your, your future stuck inside of a lie. How many lies do we tell ourselves when we are simply scared? I've been there, hand up. I've really been there. How many times have we told ourselves a lie when we don't know? How many times have we told ourselves a lie when we really just absolutely know we can, but it just seems like, is that choosing me? I mean, really? So we get into these stories, okay? I don't want to water it down, but now I'm going to ease it up a little bit. Because I'm not calling you a liar. I'm calling you greatness. And greatness doesn't live in lies. Greatness lives inside the truth so that the truth sets you free. You've heard that. The stakes are too high. Our political environment is too too frictional. Our economy is too frictional. Our homes, children, education, wellness, health, hospital care, everything is up for grabs, and it's a lot of friction. The energy is so like this, like a scratchy back that you can't get to. And there it is. But if you want it, number one, you will change. Whatever change is speaking to your heart and soul and mind, let your spiritual guides guide you to change. Then get support to absolutely do the change. You can't do everything by yourself. 2023, the DIY is for the birds. You want to be an eagle, you get support. Pick the right support, but get you some support. Adapt to new conditions. I'm going to give you a few of these conditions in just a second. The year of concepts and currency. Your concept, your currency, your concept, your currency. Conceptualizing something new, put it in the world. Don't doubt it. Don't hold on to it. Go figure out how to get that thing done. We often are so amazed about the things people create and do. But what if that was you? What if you were just one of those people that's supposed to, and you're not one of the 90-some% that won't? You're part of the 5%, 3%, 1% that will. The stakes are too high. You cannot hold back this concept. You are the one that is set to build it. I got new concepts coming out in 23. One is this incredible box that's sitting beside me. The name of the box is so amazing. The design of the box is so amazing. What's going to be in the box is so amazing. I wish I could just sell it to you tonight. If I showed it to you, the conceptual part of the box, you would buy it tonight. If I told you everything that was in the box, you would buy it tonight, because I created it based on what I knew women needed. And it is so beautiful. It's about dreams. I had to tell you that. Concepts and currency. And number 3, the year of the premiere. I know what it's like undervaluing my services, undervaluing myself. I've been there too. Haven't done it a lot of times, but I've done it enough times, girl greatness, to say that it ain't cool and it don't feel good and it don't move your year forward the way you want it to. Because if you're not valued and you're not getting the value that you deserve, value from your family, value from your husband, your significant partner, your husband, your wife, I don't know what your level of value is though. So you may have to go on a journey to do some value work, like really engage yourself into learning more about yourself and what your value really looks like. You may value something completely off the scale and no one can reach you there, or you may be valuing yourself at a place where people just need to come up and meet you there. But if you value yourself mid to low range, that's easy to reach. It don't cost nothing to reach you down there. You can get anything. We can give you anything and it's okay. This is not the year for that. This is the year for premiere. This is the year of high stakes because so much is at stake. So let's keep moving. Nothing is ever going back. Nothing is ever going back to the good old days, as many of us say it. I put me in there. I've been guilty a time or two, but nothing is going back to the same old good old days. Nothing at all. I ain't going to go into that. This is a funny thing about the nothing at all. So nothing is going to go back to the good old days. Our normal has moved to abnormal. Everything we're experiencing, this friction I talked about earlier, is abnormal. Things will feel different for the next several years, but they will be different. They're not going back. There's nothing going back to normal. The workplace is not going back to normal. There will be more and more friction in the workplace for women as you try to find your special place between the hybrid model, work from the office, work from home. And if you're going to work from home in 23, you're going to need to level up some. Because there's about to be a whole HR shift that's going to tolerate, or terminate. So you're not going to be in that posture where you think you just get to decide whether or not you roll like this or roll like that. Corporate owns the job. Now, if you're like me, you're an entrepreneur, you're in a marketplace, you own the job. So you have to decide how you roll, how you stop, how you drop, how you do what you do. But even in that, there's rules to the game. So we too have to understand what's happening around us globally, locally, and of course, throughout the country, internationally, how it affects our business, how it affects our decisions, how it affects where we're going and where we're growing to. Make sense? So you got to become a commodity. You got to become a commodity. The stakes are high. This thing that feels different, it's all of these things that I'm sharing with you tonight. There's going to be a spiritual path, a code. I am really, really, really working on getting into a new spiritual practice, routine. I'm hopeful. Church doesn't feel so part of it, but I know that I'm a Black woman and I know my roots. I'm clear on what the church has been in my life. I've been in church. I spent about 15 years in church, in a particular church setting with my husband and my 2 children. They came through teen church. And if prior to that, I was at my mama and them church. And that was the church that everybody start in. You know, if you're Black and you're a Black woman and you probably grew up in the South, or no matter where you grew up, but you went to Black church, a Baptist church, a Methodist church. But now Black people are very diverse. We've, of course, had that shift. And so we're Catholic, Black Catholics. We've always been, actually, if you study. We're different now. Okay, when I say everything is different. So I've been looking for my spiritual path. I know that I'm not going to go into Buddhism. I tried that once, actually. Never really shared that with anybody, but maybe one time or two. But it's very important right now to figure out your spiritual path. Maybe you need to go and do some spiritual work with some spiritual impacting leaders. But be careful, because there's a lot of fakery in 23, because it came in from 22 and 21 and 20. The fakery is at an all-time high. Remember, we talked about truth. We talked about this truth. It's got to surround you. You got to wake up with it. You got to go to sleep with it, take a nap with it, take it to bed with you, wake up with it. This truth is going to actually set you free. Knowing yourself, to thy own self be true. You won't be able to lie your way through it. You won't be able to get what you want and lie at the same time. You're going to have to figure it out. Do you want the success or you don't? And if you do, here is your conditions. I'm getting ready to go over that. Stay with me. So this spiritual path and the spiritual code that I'm searching for, I want to know first, where does it really start? And it starts at the code number 3, 2023. Right? Remember, I told you, just because we shifted over to a new year, that doesn't mean anything changed. I said it's possibly that things will get worse. They can even get worse. But with these ideas and concepts and predictions, if you like them, but thoughts, okay, take them, research them for yourself, sit with them, pray with them, see how they best fit for you. Number 1, change and adapt to new conditions. Number 2, the year of concepts, the year of currency. And number 3, premier, where you value yourself and your work at the higher level, the highest level. You serve at the highest level, your purpose at the highest level. You're willing to challenge yourself. Remember, I said, remember when you were in high school, you're ready to compete, because you forgot that competition is real. You forgot that. You forgot that you need to show up better than not the person next to you. You don't have to compete with them, but you do have to compete with you. You need to show up your best of you. How many of y'all done let yourself go? You just slacking. You know you slacking. You slacked. Okay. But even if you didn't slack, how about you take that up another notch? How about you 10x that? How about you 100x that? That's where I'm at. I'm not going to talk about losing menopausal weight anymore. I'm challenging myself to lose it. So the first thing I decided to do, which I've been doing it on and off, but see, I've been lying to myself. I'm just going to do some of the things I know to do, in which you do to reach greatness. Water with Lemon has a way of doing certain things. And you can add other stuff to it, but we're going to get into that tonight because I know the wellness people buzzing to give me them answers. I know the stakes are high. So this spiritual path that I'm on, that you're on, that you're going to need to be on, because the good old days are over, and you got to figure out where you're going and feel this energetic pull of your spiritual guides. You have to feel that, feel your way through that. There's a code called 3. Number 1, the code called 3, it's like emergencies, hospital. Code 3, it means emergency, lights, and sirens. Emergency, code 3 in the hospital. And then it means lights and siren. Those are some of those internal codes. What about the spiritual code? In 23, you're going to have a spiritual code. Doing church is not going to be a spiritual code. I've been in church. You can get spiritual answers, absolutely. You can get spiritual guidance, absolutely. But in order to walk it out spiritually and for it to make a difference and make your life mostly powerful, great, move you to the next place, this is going to require spiritual understanding. So spiritually, there is the first number to which the meaning all was given. All was given to the number 3, the triad, being the number of the whole. It contains the beginning, a middle, and an end. The power of 3 is universal. The power of 3 is nature, heaven, earth, and waters. It is human as the body, soul, and spirit. And you'll be like, now, Lori, come on now. That's all I got for you right there. Those are our baselines. If you believe number 3 in its spiritual understanding, all, A-L-L, that it also contains the beginning, a middle, and end, 3, that it contains the power of universal language and nature, such as our heaven, earth, and water, the waters. People say, well, where's the universe in there? The universe encompasses these things. It's the big old shell around it all. And our human us, body, soul, and spirit, then we're inside of something real powerful this year. If we can break through the frictions, if we can keep our head up over the friction, I want to give you something to do. I want you for the next 30 days, something I will be practicing. This dropped down to me right before I got ready today, in today, to get ready to bring this presentation to you. How many of you wake up in the middle of the night? Okay, I do. Menopause had me getting up and down. 3 a.m. What do you know about 3 a.m. wake ups? I remember studying it spiritually, and they talked about, that's the war between the enemy and heaven. The devil, as they call it, enemy. It was the darkest time. It's a time where certain things are happening spiritually, universe, in the heavens and universe, and how the fight is going on. It's a dark time. There's also understanding about 3 a.m. when you're waking up. The 3 a.m. wake up, when you can't fall back to sleep or you find yourself waking up in that 3 a.m. realm, 3 to 4, it may be for several reasons in this year. That it includes lighter sleep cycles. We're in leaping past certain things. We're going to have full moons that's been predicted. For those who do that work, I've been paying attention to them. So you may have a lighter sleep cycle. You may feel more stress, and underlying health conditions may be showing up as the reason why you're up at 3 a.m. I'm experiencing some of those. That's why I'm on a new full throttle wellness plan. I got to move past this. So in this 3 a.m., we talked about the 3, the first number to which all AL is given in 2023. We talked about it containing the beginning, the middle, and the end. We talked about it being nature, right? Naturally connected. Nature connected the world as a heaven, an earth, and the waters, right? The universe. And then we talked about our human body, soul, and spirit. We even talked about the code of the sirens, emergency. Remember, I said this year could be even worse than 2022. But for you, with these understandings, take this information, use what you would like, change what you desire. This 3 a.m. awakening may often and frequently occur for you if you are searching for something. It's when you really get restless and you really cannot get over to the next realm, the 4 to 5:36 a.m. You're going to have to do these things. I'm not a spiritual, what you call it, whatever they call it, spiritual guide, a medium. I'm none of those. We talked about earlier what I found my spiritual gifts to be when I took the spiritual gifts class and went on that journey myself. But as a transformational coach, I'm very inspirational, motivational. And as I said earlier, I really do guide my clients through that. Very intuitive. I'm empathic in ways, and I'm spiritually considered an administrator. And that also moves into evangelistic type of work. So I've preached a time or two, but I'm more geared and more, sitting inside of the actual what the spiritual guide is saying, what heaven is saying, what, and you call it whatever you like, God, whatever you subscribe to. Here's a couple thoughts. Some ideas you will have to change. You're going to have to shift from outdated and obsolete ideologies. I've been sharing that with some of my clients. This is the last training we just did, and I talked to them about outdated and obsolete ideologies. What does that mean, Lori? These are things you have lived by, creeds that you've lived by, codes you've lived by, mantras you've lived by, affirmations you've lived by, things that you are never going to let go no matter what happens in this earth. I am asking you to take a look at them. You may need to shift them. You may need to open up a portal for something new to come in. You don't know you may need to, you do. I try not to be absolute all the time, but I can tell you that this is one of those where there is these outdated messages you're holding on to possibly, and these outdated messages will not be a force for 23. 23 is already off to a rocket start. No matter how much we partied like it was 1999, no matter how many times people were, smoking hookah, drinking, popping it like it was hot, sitting with a loved one, having the greatest sex of your life, having the greatest meal. We had all that going on in our house. We didn't pop it like it was hot, though. We had on night clothes. My daughter, we did seafood, all of the things we do as humans. Traveling to exotic places, that still doesn't change anything. But change happens, remember? How change happens? First within you. And so for those people who get it, for those people who are operating in it, then there you go. They figured this thing out. They've went on journeys to figure it out. They've paid for spiritual coaching. They've gone to spiritual conferences. They've gone to transformational events like the ones I host. They've taken business high-level classes and coaching to learn what premier looks like. Outdated and obsolete. That's why we have to change our systems on our computers often, because they become outdated. They start to run slow. There's nothing new about this either. But maybe we got an ideology, a way of thinking that no longer will honor and hold us and keep us moving. That code may need to be restructured because everything has changed around us. Remember we said that? And what was working will not work in 23. It wasn't working in 22. It's time for optimum level, premier level. I know that many of us have been ready to end 22. I said that earlier. Some of you was ready to end it when it started. because this January may not be off to a great start either for you. But if it is, then you really do want to tap into why. Don't be falsely making it why. You know what's interesting to me? And I am very much going to be talking about this a lot this year. I'm going to be live so much this year because I've often been asked, Lori, what are we don't see you, hear you, talk about your brand, what your business does, what you do for people, women. We want to hear more from you. Don't worry, this is the year I've decided to honor the same message I'm delivering to you. I'm going to deliver to the world. So you're going to see me a lot. There's going to be a lot of changes because I've made a lot of changes for the company, my businesses, and myself. How is that? I'm honoring this code 3. I'm honoring this idea of the 1, 2, 3 that I gave you. I'm honoring the repeat after me. No one is coming to save me. Remember those? I'm honoring the concepts and currency. I'm honoring the premier work. I'm honoring it all. I'm with you. So those outdated and obsolete ideologies you'll have to work on. It's no longer why you hating on me. Don't do those kind of posts. No one is hating on you. If they were, now I'm not going to say they not, but if they're hating on you, then that's too close to you for you to know it and for you to really know it. You can actually feel that there's things happening around you. I've been victim of that. That's a victim mentality. How are we working on that when we should be working on competing with self, creating more competition for self? And how do you do that? You aim your goals higher. You reach for more. You take your income, say, I want 100,000 this year when you've never earned 100,000 before. Or you say you want to make 250 because you've been doing this 100,000 so long that you do with your eyes closed. It no longer allows you to live and work premier. Or you like me, you want $1 million revenue in your company, your coaching company, your live event trainings and development company. You want that to be the case. So what are you willing to do? Expand your team. What are you willing to do? Then you want other money. What are you willing to do? Go invest in other things, buy real estate, create a new business, another business, get in business with someone else. What are you willing to do? All right. So this change, right? And adapting new conditions as we get ready to close. You'll have to, number one, here's the challenge. Here's the conditions. You ready? Number one, fall back in love with living. If you're ready to kill yourself, I'm going to put it just like that. I'm not going to beat around the bush. If you're thinking suicidal thoughts, go get help now. Pick up the phone, call help now. It's everywhere now because it's no longer in the box. It's out the box. So many amazing people we've lost. We've all had dark moments, but if you're not in love with living, and I understand with that a lot. I woke up at 52 years old, 22. I'm still 52. I'll be 53. See, that 3 is going to be something for this year, something to pay attention to. And it's been a rough 22 for me. 52 and 22 felt like a round and round we go. Come on now, round and round we go. Come on, girl, scrub the ground. Come on now, scrub the ground. Come on. That's one of my songs. That's what it felt. I gained weight. I got an extra chin. I couldn't even see it coming. I felt like blue, blah, blah, like the number 2. Yeah, the doo-doo. That's what 22 felt like for me. My brilliance, my ingenuity, my ideas, my conceptual way of making currency, none of that felt explicitly amazing. I struggled in 22. So I want to fall back in love with living. How will I accomplish that in 23? Because 23 is asking me to shift outdated and obsolete ideologies, ways of thinking, ways of being, ways of doing. 3 a.m. I find myself, in 22, I was getting up all kinds of times around that time. So it's asking me to really think about the underlying condition of my health and the stress. So I started listening to this podcast that my daughter sent me, who a friend and her were discussing, and a woman that I already knew, a woman that I really like, a woman that I trust her work. Her name is Mel Robbins. And Mel used to be on CNN. You can go check out her podcast, Mel Robbins. And Mel was just phenomenally telling her truth. Remember, I said truth will be all around you in 23. You're going to wake up with the truth, sit with the truth, live with the truth, be your truth. Okay? No more lying. Just no more lying. If your relationship is over with someone, call it over. If it's not over, say why it's not over. I said something today to my husband. We've been going through marital change, and we got to make some more work at it. We're going to make some more work at it, because I said something today that I hadn't shared with anyone. You have an idea right now of what it looks like as we're talking. So to adapt with these new conditions is you're going to have to fall back in love with living. You're not going to be able to fake it on social media. Stop it. Everybody hear me who will listen to this on a replay, or someone send it to you, however you see it, but on a replay, stop it. How are we laughing, smiling, holding up the dancing, holding up the kids, the pictures, the bags, the shoes, the good, the that, and we kill ourselves the next day? How are we doing that? What is behind the smile? You know what's behind the smile? The lack of love for life. Life is scary, life is hard, and life will knock you to your knees and leave you there permanently if you let it. And that's that. Life is what you created to be. Remember the affirmations earlier. Life is not this thing we are by osmosis prepare for. We got to learn. As you learn, you grow. As you grow, you learn. So if you stop learning, you stop growing. And if you're looking only for social media to teach you, oh, you're in so much trouble in 23, because there's more fakery, scammy, Ponzi schemes out than ever before. Love. Okay, that was a love. Ooh-wee. Even for those who think you know it. To find authentic, true, liberating care for you people, it is not easy anymore. You do have to trust. Yes, you're intuitive, but so many people are looking and searching for the golden ticket, for the opportunity to feel better, for the moment of currency and concept, so they will take whoever preaching it. This is another reason I got to be out here. I got to compete with myself and those, because I don't want you over there, wherever that looks like. I want you in greatness, in wholeness. And it's safe and girl, gonna be great world. Number 2, forgive trespasses. The condition will be fall back in love with living. Number 2, forgive trespasses. Me, I'm up there first. Oh my Jesus. I got some forgiving to do, working on it as I speak. Forgive trespasses. Forgive those who trespass against us, and forgive ourselves for our own trespasses. Back to my marriage, we're walking through and going through a journey. I know one of those things is forgiveness. I already see this coming as I was continuing to fine tune my speech. What did your husband do to you, Lori? No, he did not beat me, because we would not be here. We wouldn't even be talking about it, because that's a no-no. We've had some growing pains. We're going on 28 years of marriage. And for those of you who may be going on 28 years of marriage, you will only know it if you've been in this place. It is a very unique, different place where the woman starts feeling you ain't got my C's in line. Communication, connection, care for, and the man like, hey, I did all that. Yes, that's always outdated. It's obsolete. You need to update. And I'm stuck where I'm stuck, and he's stuck where he's stuck, and we just like bump that. I don't need you for this. You don't need me for that. Because at this point, you start having your own stuff. So any relationship can get stale. I want you to be clear, right? That you're in a time where you get an opportunity right now to forgive trespasses. Know those trespasses, brother, sister, cousin, ex-friend, ex-lover, someone on the job. There was a story here in Atlanta. This particular woman, I saw her. I looked at looked at her as they took her into the courtroom. This woman could not forgive her trespassers. She killed 3 people on her job. This woman never been in a day of legal trouble. Forgiving trespasses is a real deep thing. First, let's forgive ourselves of our own trespasses. Who we've trespassed on, who we've trespassed, and what? Then we can forgive others. Number 3, fueling yourself daily with your ideas. Fueling yourself daily with the ideal of what? Wholesome, with the ideal of love, with the ideal of taking care of yourself. Whatever ideas you got about being your best self, fuel yourself with those ideas. Get up and do something. Fuel yourself with those ideas daily. Daily, we're going to have to do the stuff. We have to put our muscles and energy to work. So as we close, I want you to hear this. Hear this well. I didn't want to predict all the business and entrepreneur stuff. I'm going to be talking a lot about entrepreneurism. My company's making a lot of new announcements. We're doing a lot of changes, and all the word is lot. All 3. All things are being new at Girl Go Be Great. My mission, my focus, doing my head like this, I'm so excited. I have some other ventures. I went into the event space business. We have event spaces that we'll be sharing with the world, me and my daughter. And I'm really, really, really thinking about you as a woman, like, where are you going to go? Where are you going to? What is life showing you, Donna Ross? So here's a list of a few things I want you to think about. 23, as we've been talking about it all this time. You now got the gist of what 23 can look like through the eyes of glory. Number 1, take swift action. Move. Do something different. Go a new way. Claim something. Create more in the name of greater good. Swift action. Take swift action. Move. Do something different. Go a new way. Claim something. Create more in the name of greater good. Stop self-sabotaging yourself. Nobody has to do that. We do it ourselves, by ourselves, for ourselves, easily. Stop being the safest version of yourself. Stop thinking that you got to do all this to get attention. That's on my list. People are doing way too much to get attention. All you got to do is be you. But you may have to go on a journey to see who that me may be. You know how you see people do all these things, and then 10 years down the line, they tell you how those things were not authentically them. Stop being afraid of past mistakes. Stop carrying the burden. I messed up big time. Yours, my hand up. We carry that so long, we can't make no other moves. And this is the year of premium. This is the year of concepts and currency. This is the year of change and challenge. Competition. Stop creating a false narrative of what you are not. Stop letting fear get in your way every time. Stop running away from the responsibility of self-love. No one loves you first more than you. Learn to get that settled. Stop avoiding the action steps to live greater. There are steps. I got a client who created a product, and this product, it's so phenomenal. It's called ACTS, A-C-T-S, A.C.T.S. I want you to take a look at her product. She has one of those products that could help you stop running away from responsibility and take action steps to living greater. I normally don't shout everybody out on my, work, but I always believe in my clients. So if my clients got something that's pretty amazing, I want to help them put it in the world. I want you to go to thekimwilson.com, TheKimWilson.com, Wilson, Wilson, thekimwilson.com. Go get her ACTS program. Right now, it's the cheapest it'll ever be because I just helped her today understand it's time to jack that price up because it's premium time. It's premier time. So you can get it for $19.99 and it's going to change your life. ACTS. Get over there and learn a lot about it. Go to thekimwilson.com. You can get the A as a gift, but then the C, right? The T and the S. Once you want the whole package, you'll love it. Trust me, I love it. I believe it's one of those products that will get you there. Stop avoiding greater for yourself. We often say we want greater, but when greater drop at your door, knock on your door, hit your window, jack you up, pull you by the sleeve, push you on and over there, you might have that friction we talked about earlier that you just struggle. Or you might be the person that have avoided it your whole life. There are a lot of people that are moving inside, women that are moving inside her thing. And there's a lot of women that's not moving anything. It's like moving is like you trying to move a big truck with just two hands. But if you avoid greater, you can count on this year sitting it out. You are red shirted. You're on the bench. Don't need to get mad at nobody. Don't need to talk about nobody. And don't be upset when you find yourself kind of sick in the bed, laying there, watching the world go by like a ship. So how do you become these things, Lori? You become an agent of change. One that's willing, one that's ready. Say, coach, put me in the game, and you're the coach. You're challenging you this time. You're competing with you. You are ready to lose the weight because you know you're too heavy. I know I'm too heavy. I don't like the feeling. We can buy bigger clothes, but it's all about what you like. It's all about what you want. I know I want to be well balanced. I know that means this, and this. I know I want to create $1 million for my company and me and my life and my family, go on more vacations and exoticness and re-love my whole everything about who Lori Pelzer is. Maybe even for the first time to see who she really, really is. Money has a way. Currency has a way of doing that. What do you need to change? I just threw a few things out. Listen to my daughter more. Hear her from her 34-year-old woman. Hear my granddaughter from her 12-year-old view. Hear my dog whining. They're like, what is wrong? What do you need? What do you need right now? Hear my husband. Melvin, what do you need? I don't know what Melvin needs. I'll be so honest. I don't really know. I used to know. What do you know? What do you know you need right now? My hair. My hair is a part of this agent of self-change. I was blonde for 15 years. I have a client. Her name is Sharmitria Johnson. She's in Atlanta. So wherever you are in the world, here joining me. But if you need hair care products because you're losing your hair, another client shout out. I've been able to work with all of these women to build their premium brands and help them scale up their revenues, which is our complete focus for 2023. We're going to let a whole lot go. We've already let it go. We just haven't announced all the new things we're doing. She took my hair as it was a completely pretty much bald in the top. Everything fell out from the blonde of the blonde of the blonde of the blonde and the journey thereof. I went on a journey, girl greatness. I was like wide open when I got to Atlanta and moved here a couple years ago. And all I can tell you, I went to the top of the food chain. Premier has a cost, but Premier shouldn't cost you what you came to pay for at a Premier level. Did y'all catch that? So I didn't pay for bald head. I paid for slamming hair, healthy hair, amazing styles. Who knew I would ever go here? Hello, everyone. I see new people joining. We're about to close next 5 minutes. Who knew I would be here? Red or different types of red. Twists. Natural, completely natural. These are called coils. And you can do them at home. You know, your stylist can do them for you once she do, because I'll be getting my treatment in a couple of days and getting my red updated. And she's back on from her vacation. Her name is Shamitra Johnson. She took me in and nurtured me back with wellness products. Because I'm in menopause, I also was losing my hair with the stress and the friction, as we talked about earlier, the friction that's in the earth realm right now, the friction that you're going to have to deal with as you go forward for freedom. You're going to fuel this whole thing with these answers I gave you. A lot of answers tonight, right? That's what you're going to need. That's what she gave me, fuel again. My hair is growing gangbusters. I mean, this is the bag. I did this really funky style tonight, and I'm loving it. But I am no longer, right? Living in an outdated message. We talked about that. And that outdated message was that my hair only looked great in blonde. Outdated message was my hair only looked great in that style. But I went completely natural and I feel so different. I feel so many openings. Shamitra Johnson, you can find her on Instagram and Facebook. I See You Beauty. ICYOU Beauty. I See You Beauty. I See You Beauty. These are the women I've had an opportunity to serve. One of my other clients who I will tell you is important for you this year, that you work on your optimum health. 23, you're going to be sick or you're going to be what? Not sick. You're going to be lively or you're not going to be lively. You choose. Wellness is so simple, she said. It's simple. We've made it complex. We just need to reconnect. Reconnection. That's my final word. Her name is Dina Corbin. DENACORBIN. These are just a few of the women I want to share tonight. They're on fire for premium brands. They're on fire to scale up, and they have great products for you. And these women really do care. Dina Corbin, she'll have her new website up in a couple of days, dinacorbin.com. dinacorbin.com. Right now you can find her on Facebook with the Whole Wellness Woman or Natural Ground One. Natural Ground One or Whole Wellness Woman. That will be her conference coming up in 23. It's about the Whole Wellness Woman. What outdated ideologies have you been living by? And are you ready? Are you really ready for 23 that speaks to your greatness, that speaks to who you can be in the world? Are you ready to do the work? Are you ready to get on fire for it? Are you ready to be premium? Are you ready to stop living like a pedicure? It's some magical thing. It's necessary. It's necessary. Are you ready to be the woman that is so called to be great in the earth realm that people flock to you because of who and what you are? You shouldn't be struggling with breast exams in 23. You're going to get sick and you're going to leave sick because no one cares like they used to care. Remember I said we're in a very, very different time. So this time, no one is coming to your house to save you. Remember, we did those repeat after me. No one. No one is going to remind you to check for lumps in your breast. No one is going to remind you to get your GYN checkup. No one's going to remind you to put condoms on when you're having random sex. No one is going to remind you that having extra children costs extra money. No one is going to come to save you. They want to cut out this particular government, any and everything that looks like extra help. You are your help. Heaven is your help if you choose. The universe, the world, it's your help. Your spiritual guides are available, but you, I will repeat these last three, these last ones. You are your own. You're on your own. No one is coming to your house to make your dreams come true. You're on your own. No one can raise your standards and elevate your game but you. You see a conference you want to go to, get the ticket and go. If you don't have enough money, my final word, it is money time. Currency creates. It creates anything you desire, both good, bad, great, or indifferent. It can create tragedy or it can create triumph experiences. You get to choose how you live. You want to live poor and struggle, fix incomes, you get to choose that. I understand that certain things stop us, but nothing stop us permanently but us. 23 is not going to care. The world is already shifted, it's tilted. My daughter said it to me the other day, and I agree 400%. No one is coming to build and enhance your reputation for you. No one is coming to protect and fortify you, your mind. You need support, wellness support. Make the call, dial the number, go online, better help. Follow people like me. Join my podcast, Defy the Good with Lori Pelzer. Go to my website, join my community, girlgobegreat.com. Girlgobegreat.com. Get your free gift, the Greatness Framework. Do not be a DIYer all your life. It's okay sometimes. But in 23, it's about premium. It's about up leveling. It's about going up. You got to go up past the friction, remember? Up past the friction. You got to be competitive again. Now you got to really not run no track, but you might need to go run or walk 5 miles. You got to go do something greater than what you've been doing. Or you get left behind. No one is coming to bolster your self-esteem but you. And no one is coming to save you but you. I hope that you've enjoyed being with me tonight. If you haven't, then that's your problem. I'm just kidding, girl, great. But yeah, that is your problem, though. Ain't mine. Because I labored to give you this. I wanted to be real. I wanted it to be what I can sleep with if you have to come back and challenge me with it. So go to girlgobegreat.com, get your free gift. All you do is put your email address in and it will download to you. Go to the very bottom of the page. That's our temporary page. We'll be sharing our brand new website with new services for you, stuff that's going to blow your mind. You will be able to get what you need if you're an entrepreneur, you're hoping to upgrade and go be great at a higher premium level. I've served women. My final word. I've served a lot of women. I've been an entrepreneur for 26 years. And I had the roughest, toughest time deciding what this next life looked like for me. You see, I'm still even going through the process. It wasn't about raising my standards. It was about raising the idea of my premium value. And I will be working only with women entrepreneurs over the next several years until I'm probably retired. I'll probably shift again, but this is the new shift, the start of a new era. And we're going to be working with premium brands and helping women who are in the growth to expansion stage scale up and find the money in her business. If you're a starter, you just started, you're going to do that concept thing that we talked about. Concept equals currency. In one of the predictions I gave you, one of the insights, I told you just to take it as a thought. Okay. One of the ideas is you need to begin to build concepts and you need to find you some startup communities. And one is incubators or cohorts. Those are really great. Find one in your local community. Your cities always have them. If you're in the Atlanta area, you got lots of them. One is called WEI. I will not be offering at Girl Go Be Great any startup entrepreneur work going forward. Remember, we talked about this is the year of premiere. And that is very new for Girl Go Be Great. We're not excluding. We've just served where we've served. Our time is up there. I have great referrals of places you can go and women communities you can get involved in if you're in the startup phase. We will only be working with women entrepreneurs. We will no longer be doing, single personal development. We will only be helping to develop the woman entrepreneur personally when she's in that relationship with us. It is just that time. I will be all over the country doing amazing things, raising the roof and raising the premium of who I am and what I'm here to do. I'm 52 years old. I made a change, and this change, as I've talked you through it, this new way forward will never be easy to decide. will only be for those of you who are ready for the conditions. Number one, change and adapt to new conditions. Number two, be willing to what? Create concepts and allow that currency to flow. And three, the year premiere. This is that year, the year of currency and concepts, the year of premiere, where the value of you and the value of things go up and change and adapt into new conditions. We talked about those conditions. We talked about the number three. We talked about it spiritually. We talked about you're having to fall back in love with living, forgive trespasses, fuel yourself daily. We talked about competition, your competition with you. We went all the way back to high school. If you were the girl that sat on the bench and watched everybody do everything, this your time to get in the game. Coach put me in the game. You are the coach. Get in the game. Let go of this thing you've been holding on to, obsolete messages, outdated messages, ideologies that no longer will take you forward, because we're in a frictional time. I talked about government very briefly. I talked about social changes, children, family. I talked about these things because most of us will try to ignore one aspect of them and think that doesn't affect me. All of it affects you. And lastly, we are all in this together. So what you're going through, I can feel. So a lot of times when we're all feeling off, we're feeling off because energetically we're so connected. We're more interconnected than we are singularly standing. So we don't remember that enough. So when we're feeling off because the world is tilted or something is off, and so all of our, all of us working on balance and flow and change. Dina Corbin, she has a book on Amazon, one of my clients we help scale up. You want to go over and get that book, Change, Balance, and Flow. When we all start operating in that, or most of us, we'll see more of that in the world. It's been my pleasure serving you. Let's go deeper, let's go greater, and let's go get what we came here for. We came on this earth to be change, to make change, to have change. Girl, you go be great. I'll see you on the other side, which is your greatness. It's been my pleasure serving you with my State of the Union success address. And for those who didn't get to join us on Facebook, we are so apologetic. This new system we're working on is supposed to stream us on different platforms at the same time. Thank you, Instagram. Thank you so much, LinkedIn, if LinkedIn is with us. Thank you, Facebook, when you do see this. Thank you, YouTube. We are excited about the future. Hey, sis. Hey, sis. Hey, sis. I see Hey, sis Lori there on Instagram. Thank you so much. That is Dr. Griffith. Great to see you, girl. Greatness. It's been a long time. Thank you, Black Love, for being so involved tonight. Thank you, Tara, for coming on Instagram. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. We got Lil Bit. Thank you, Lil Bit. Lil Bit was out there kicking it. Lil Bit 72 was kicking it with me. J-Lo Events, that's me and my daughter's new space. Thank you so much, Jessica, for being a part of making this happen. And for those of you I couldn't see, Retired Chick. Oh, I want to retire one day too. Show me how to do that. Show me how to dig it. Retirement, very big conversation. Queen Iana, thank you so very much. That Tolerate or Terminate was powerful, wasn't it, Black Love? By Alicia Buckner, Canada. Hi, Alicia. Great to see you. Listen, you all showed up tonight. Legacy by is it Quinteria? Quinteria. That's right. I will, with a lot of exclamation points, not holding back. No more of that. Don't do it. Don't try it. And I thank each of you. Natural Ground One, thank you for showing up. One of our clients, Dina Corbin, who I just expressed to you to go get her book, Change, Balance, and Flow. And DinaCorbin.com will be up in a few days. And you can go over there and learn a lot more about wellness, whole wellness woman. And I'm excited about each of you that join in. The close to FGG. All right. All right. I'm just going to call it the close. Hey, girl, greatness. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I look forward to us doing more together in 23. They say, oh, yeah, the Say Life Coach. I've seen you out there before. Thank you for being in the world with me tonight. I appreciate each of you who joined on YouTube. Some of the faces and names we can't see because I'm on the other end of the screen. And then we got Delicia or Deli, D-Lisa. That's what I'm going to put. D-Lisa Fashion Designer. Oh, man, y'all made my life tonight. Thank y'all. If you only get one person to hear the message of greatness, it will find its way to the hearts and souls of others. Share the message, okay? I appreciate y'all. Look forward to seeing you on the other side. Go to girlgobegreat.com. Get your free greatness framework. It is free, but I want you to stay in connection with me because we got some stuff we about to do in 23. You want to get rich, you want to create, you want to go in a premium brand direction, you want to scale up, you're going to want to hang out with us. We're ready to take you where you're ready to go. Girl, go be great. Great night. Talk soon. I'll see y'all in several days. All right. Bye-bye.